Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Tuesday, June 29th, 2021. That's right, the month of June is wrapping down just as Bitcoin begins to move up. Ethereum following closely in its steps as well. Is this, are we putting the bearish phase of the extended 2020-2021 bull market, or bearish correction to the bull market behind us? Yeah. Could very well be the case. What comes next? Something we're going to explore over the course of your favorite 2 hours in crypto podcasting coming your way just now. As always, it's your host, Crypto Jack, kicking it with you live here on YouTube and, our favorite alt platforms as well. And joined, as always, by 2SCC's lead technical analysts. Got Alex and Jason here, everybody. Alex, what's going on? You with us today?
I am with you today.
Brilliant. All right. That's the voice of Alex and Jason. Hear from Jason.
Doing well.
All right.
Finally starting to see that market turn around the way that we've been talking about. The speed at which it's going is actually relatively smooth at this point, but I'm glad to see that we are starting to get that bullish appreciation that I was expecting off that bottom. But the follow through here is going to be something interesting. So I'm curious to see today because I haven't been able to get any good signals because we've been just tossing around, and I think today will be the day that I actually start to get some quality signals. So just gonna have to wait till close.
I'm hoping we don't move so much that we're suddenly over the qualifying lines for everything.
Right? And then we just miss it.
Yeah.
It's been choppy.
Certainly has been. Fingers crossed we get a nice civilized move to the upside, nothing too savage, and we get some quality signals come along. Indeed, yes, it has been a choppy few weeks, and I'm sure a lot of people might have, like we said last week, might have very much thrown the towel in. They survived much of the bearish carnage of the May meltdown.
Sounds prime for FOMO.
Yeah.
That's about the time that the market starts moving ridiculously, and then everyone gets scared, buys in at the top, and we dump again.
Yep, precisely.
Hold that.
All right, guys, let's get into it. The next 2 hours is going to unfold. We are going to cover everything from this intro. We're going to get into the news before, of course, we get into the main analysis, who will be headed up by Alex today. Finally, second hour, we're going to get into the AMA and request section of the show. That's right, everyone's favorite AMA request section. We get to look at all your chart requests, guys. Who else looks at chart requests quite like we do? We just knock out so many every show. Sometimes, dare I say it, I feel like CC is a little underappreciated. Not by our audience, of course. We have an amazing, loyal audience community. But, the YouTube algo, for what we do, the YouTube algo really leaves us, leaves us for dead in the dirt, seemingly most days. But, alas, we keep trying. We keep serving up the hits, I guess, for our regular audience, guys. So that's what we're going to do today. Tuesday, relatively bullish looking Tuesday. Feels good to be here in the middle of summer with you guys and covering all the latest in the markets. All right, let me see if there's any little tweak I got to do here. All right, 1 second, bear with me. I'm gonna up the volume on my mic so that I come in a little more even, similar to Jason and Alex. All right, let's get into it, guys. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price action. one last tweak. Bear with me here. Alright, let's enable this. Let's turn this on. And this too. I knew I was missing something. And turn this on. Alright, brilliant. Trading view back up and running. Currently at $36,375 after, well, let's take a look at the 4-hour view. Man, we just keep edging up. A 4-hour looking pretty good. In fact, I can see this cross up above on the 4-hour we had on the 26th. Was that Saturday? This was the beginning of something what could be very special. This is our ascent from the bowels of hell down here, or maybe more like down here, the sub 30 pullback. And yeah, it looks like we're turning the page on what could be a return, something very special. Yeah, the last 4 hours worked out pretty good, man. It's just been green candle after green candle, huh?
Yep.
Looking good. So indeed, Bitcoin posting.
Oh, I'd say Jack's starting to get a little bit excited. Okay, now I'm getting a little bit of bullishness in Jack's voice. I hear it.
Almost coming in.
All right, well, prepare to counter trade me, boys. This is gonna be it. Yeah, but let's have a look at the indicators daily. Minx crossing up above the 0, and WADA's not quite there yet, but yeah, conditions look prime. I'll save further analysis for our boys here. Let's have a look at Ethereum. 2231. Nice day on Ethereum. What is this measured move? Yeah, it's about 7.5% up. I like it. 48-hour move is like 10+%. So things are really turning up nicely. Yesterday barely kind of closed right within the Keltner channel, but today is officially clearing the Keltner clearly, and Minx crossing above 0. WADA's not there yet. WADA seems a little tepid, I think, across a lot of these pairs. But otherwise, things are looking pretty decent. At the very least, could initiate some decent FOMO. Anybody who threw their bags overboard and promised never to return just last week amidst the carnage, likely feeling the FOMO right now. Only took 3 major wicks down into sub $2,000 disaster to mentally shake out, I guess, maybe some market participants. Then again, this is just anecdotal from what I've observed reading online and crypto Twitter. People, I feel, were mentally broken, and this is the final capitulation, maybe. Let's have a look at XRP. XRP also having a pretty decent day, following nicely within this move here. Yeah, man, almost 12% move on XRP, 72 cents. Take a look at Doge. Doge do anything interesting? Oh, this is DOT. Let's have a look. DOT turning up decently well as well. 8.5% move, still within the Keltner channel. Most other indicators still pretty bearish, but clearly where Bitcoin leads, these coins are going to follow. We'll see what happens next. Nothing to really report on Kusama here, $215. Here's a look at Doge. Well, just like many other charts we looked at, WADA not really there yet, but here's Minx turning up above 0. Is this where Doge just follows? Are we going to be destined to walk this dog alongside Bitcoins and Ethereum? You know, is this officially a major? Is this a coin that's permanently correlated to the other majors? Incredible what Doge has done. Here's a quick look at SHIB. Damn, Jason, could have SHIB'd out on the SHIB.
No, I think we'll still get our chance.
All right. Well, maybe we'll buy. We'll throw some coffee money at the SHIB bucket in the coming days. Maybe by the next pullback. I don't know. I want to be in on a meme coin for this next bull cycle. It can't be all seriousness around here. Can't just be stacking sats. Gotta have some exposure to some meme coin hilarity. I might do that through SHIB this time.
It's popularity. You're not really that interested in making money or anything like that. It's of no concern to you.
You know, I feel like if I was too preoccupied with making money on some stupid meme coin Hail Mary, I'm likely going to get wrecked. But the moment I throw $40 at SHIB and set it and forget it, that's the one that's going to 100x as the ultra meme coin of the next super cycle. And it's only because I'll have done it kind of haphazardly, will it reward me? If I try to overthink it, overcalculate it, try to pick a a quality coin, that might go against me. Hence,
so you're going with the George Costanza method, where you're going to do the exact opposite of your instincts.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, precisely. Going full Costanza on this next YOLO trade in SHIB or equivalent meme coin. All right, man, gold mostly sideways for the last few days, but finally having another pullback, stabbed down to 1750 today.
That looks like a breakdown to me. You know, we weren't able to tell before if it was distribution or accumulation, but now it certainly looks pretty rough. Wow, that looks pretty inversely correlated too.
It does.
One you just
yes, yes, it looks very inversely correlated to the Dixie. Like, yeah, I mean, in a mirror image of the last few days. Incredible. Here's a look at Dixie above 92 again. Situation long, getting printed on Minx today on the Dixie. Man, what a headwind, huh? All right, quick look at Tesla. Take profit long.
Curious to see Bitcoin going up with Dixie going up as well.
Indeed.
Yeah,
The whole market.
Indeed. Kind of not what one would expect. But with that said, guys, there's a quick scan of some of the latest price action. We'll do a little more TA once we get Alex on the main screen. Let's get into the next part here. Let's have a look at the bubbles. All right, nice green juicy day here in the alt space. The alt bags are looking quite refreshed on a day like this, where ICP apparently, ICP and Ethereum Classic of all things, leading today's pack of alt gainers. Ethereum Classic up nearly 32%. ICP up nearly 30% itself. You've got the likes of VET, Bitcoin Gold, SHIB, eGold, Atom, all up double digits, about 15% gains on those tokens. And of course, everything else you see here is up about 7 to 10%. All your favorites. Yeah, we got ZEC up here with 15% gains. ZEC decent gains day over day. Got the likes of Curve, Algo, Neo, and man, Phantom, ENJ, yes, all the established favorites. Aave, all posting 10% gains today. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Alts having a bit of a reprieve.
They were pretty oversold.
Indeed they were. Indeed they were. Tell me, how many 20-30% days do we need to recover from the 80% meltdown? I think we got a while more to go. With that said, yeah, alts look all right, guys. Let's get into the next part here. What do we have? Well, I got a few news items lined up for you. Let's get into those now. All right, maybe we'll start with this story here. Yes, Elon Musk wants crypto enthusiasts to support a new Dogecoin protocol. I'm not going to dwell too long on anything Doge or Elon, but apparently the billionaire is now telling his nearly 60 million Twitter followers that it's important to support the proposal put forth by core Dogecoin developer Patrick Lauder. The proposal, titled Fee Policy Change Proposal Number 2347, notes that the current Dogecoin transaction fees exceed those of Bitcoin and Litecoin, relatively speaking, and recommends they be cut by at least 50 times. Alright, so there you go, guys. Not going to get too much into the technicals on this one, but just so you know, Doge isn't dead yet, and here is Elon muddling in the technicals, under the hood details, and even kind of supporting
with Elon's longtime expertise in blockchain development.
Precisely, precisely. This whole thing.
Just.
I mean, in many ways, I'm glad he's sticking his nose in Dogecoin development, and he's not running amok in Bitcoin, right? This could be.
What is this? A blockchain for ants? These transactions need to be at least 50 times cheaper.
50 times as cheap.
Yes.
You gotta write that one up as a meme, Jack.
Yeah. We just gotta staple Elon's face to whatever his name was in that movie.
Oh, you're serious?
Oh yeah.
Zoolander, dude.
Zoolander, Eric Zoolander. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
Zoolander was
horrible
talking
with
to
names.
Mugatu.
Yes. Indeed. A quality meme that probably does deserve, in this case, to be superimposed with Elon and Dogecoin. I like it. But there you have it. There's a little bit of Elon news. All right. Anybody hear about this one? Supposedly Bitcoin bull Marcia Popescu, interesting name, reported drowned off of Costa Rica. This is one of the early Bitcoin guys. I think he's like a famous Bitcoin billionaire. You guys hear about this? Either way, let's see if there's crypto circles were shocked by news of an apparent drowning death of Bitcoin billionaire Mr. Popescu off the coast of Costa Rica. It was speculated that Popescu's Bitcoin holdings were worth well over $1 billion, and he claimed he had control of over 1 million coins. It's perhaps unsurprising that Popescu is renowned for his view that Bitcoin is fate. A local Costa Rican newspaper said Popescu entered the Pacific at Jaco Beach around 8:30 a.m. on the 23rd of June and was swept away by the current and died on the spot. Lifeguards spoke to the press of the dangers of swimming in those particular waters. All right, man. McAfee and Popescu in 1 week.
Where's the third one coming? It always comes in threes.
Comes in threes, right? Uh-oh. Elon, better.
Now you just got
your head down. Well, I don't know. Maybe Elon's like insured. You know, maybe Elon even has clones already ready to be booted up in case of disaster. I guess the $1 billion didn't buy that.
Real dead man switch.
Judicial agency. Yeah, you go down and then suddenly some underground lab, has some pod deploy, vapor pours out, and your contingency protocol is activated. You're dead, but your clone returns. Good luck explaining that one to the wife. Popescu's death is currently being investigated by Costa Rica's Judicial Investigation Agency, although the deceased man's identity remains unconfirmed. He's a Romanian by residency. Popescu is 41, ferocious Bitcoin advocate who I guess enjoyed swimming in the open sea.
Well, I hear it's very interesting. So, if he died without anybody having access to those keys, that's gonna lock up so much Bitcoin. It's gonna be greater than any halving event.
And maybe that's gonna be the news on how they're like, well, no one can touch these anymore, and we just get a big old spike.
Yeah, precisely. That's one of the first things that come to mind. Generally, that's my main takeaway from the story, guys. Always do your due diligence. First off, I mean, yes, conspiratorial things come to mind. You're worth $1 billion. First off, I wouldn't want to be a high-profile BTC holder and then go swimming in the ocean. You don't know who's gonna drown you and take your
submersible waiting for you.
Yeah, somebody's waiting to off you, and so I'd keep especially somewhere like Costa Rica. I don't know how safe you are down there swimming by yourself in the ocean.
Be careful, Alec.
But hopefully he did his due diligence, and maybe he had his money, his coins, his keys secured, maybe with a guarantor or some kind of, his lawyer, somebody maybe can execute and distribute the coins to his next of kin or whoever it was written in on his will. I don't know all the details, guys, but it is a good reminder, right? You never know when tragedy might strike. If you're if you have a family and you're stacking your sats, you've got your massive crypto portfolio that you're looking to do right by your family one day. You never know. Like I said, disaster may strike. Make sure there are contingencies in place. It's at the same time you do have to balance this off against having too many people know too much about your private finances, your private crypto, and all those details. You do have to balance security with prudence, right? So guys, consider that. Maybe talk. Maybe make a plan. Maybe write down, complete with your, in your home safe or in your will, whatever. Maybe have some extended details written down. Recovery information, I guess. Recovery instructions, right? So something happens, whether it's your children or your wife, next of kin can potentially get access to the instructions on, all right, well, this is where I keep my crypto, guys. That's another thing that can happen. I think about this all the time, right? Something happens, next of kin is aware that I'm into crypto? Do you think they're going to know exactly, you know, what exchanges to log into, what wallets I keep everything on, etc., etc., in case of the completely unforeseen and unfortunate circumstances? You'd want to make sure that they're well protected and have a little easy paper trail to kind of follow and be able to recover things, guys. So in this case, hopefully that wasn't it for this guy. Hopefully, you know, I wish this guy rest in peace, of course. But yes, if there's any silver lining to this, if I were, you know, if I were to spend this some way, yeah, maybe 1 million of BTC have been permanently taken off the market. So there's that. Get into the next one, guys. Let's get into something a little more upbeat. What do we have here? All right, apparently the story says Germany opens the floodgates to Bitcoin investing. All right, hang tight. I gotta make one little tweak here in the background. Stand by. Here we go. All right, much better. All right, we're back in business. All right, so as I said, Germany opening the floodgates. Let's see what this is about. As much as 350 billion, I think, is this euro? Is this the sign for euro? Can start entering the crypto market this Thursday after a law passed earlier this year comes into force in Germany. The new Fund Location Act allows 4,000 existing special funds as well as new special funds to invest up to 20% in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Previously, such funds were prohibited from allocating any percentage to cryptos, but now
Das special funds.
Oh yes, das special funds, indeed, or von Stagengrossen here. But with that said, previously such funds were prohibited from allocating any percentage to cryptos, but now an estimated 1.87 trillion euros under their control may very well potentially be diversified into Bitcoin. All right, they're free to choose how much to invest, up to 20%, with this law being implemented at a European Union directive suggesting new permissibility is coming to Europe-wide. Quote, this won't happen overnight, but we are talking about the largest investment vehicle that we have ever had in Germany. Literally all the money is in there, said this Mr. Hildebrandt, CEO of Distributed Ledger Consulting, who worked towards this law. It has a wider, more general applicability, with it not being crypto-specific in granting primarily pension insurance funds, which, like using these special funds, the ability to diversify. In explaining, Jacqueline Winter of Blockchain Capital says, special funds are...
Special funds.
Special fund. I can't do the German accent. I'll leave it to Alex, but are considered the German institutional fund vehicle of choice for most liquid asset classes and for property within distinct structures. These special funds allow assets to be managed by different underlying managers with unified reporting under the umbrella of so-called master KVG structure, blah, 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 blah. All right, now we're getting into the weeds here on German, these special funds here. But the idea is still the same, guys. You know, legally, regulatorily, if that's a word, they've just been granted the ability to, I guess, diversify up to 20%. Now, I doubt anyone's going to ape in. I doubt any of these professional fund managers and all these funds are going to necessarily ape in crypto right away. But hey, maybe this will indeed provide another realm of diversification. Even a little trickle of some of these gargantuan funds, trillions of dollars in assets. If even that small amount of it trickles into crypto, could mean a very, very big thing. I love it. There's your story on German floodgates opening. Let's get into the next one. All right, another day, another major sponsorship deal. Apparently, another big tie-up. Crypto.com partnering with Formula One to become its global partner. Crypto.com announced a significant partnership with Formula One ahead of Pirelli British Grand Prix 2021. You know, Formula One I don't think is nearly as popular here in North America, but it's extremely popular internationally and in Europe. And this is a pretty major tie-up. Popular digital asset exchange Crypto.com becomes global partner and inaugural partner of Formula One's new Sprint Series for 2021. The first event will take place on Saturday, July 17th. The company will also have trackside presence. All right, super cool. I hope my Crypto.com membership or whatever is gonna maybe
grant
give me
you trackside preferences at Formula One.
I want to be in the paddock. Okay, I want to be me and Schumacher kicking it in some VIP booth. Solely based on my Crypto.com rewards. Press release shared with Crypto Potato expands on the deal. They describe it as the most recognized sporting brand, becoming global partner. Blah blah blah. Digital as a firm will have its logos displayed at the tracks at every race for the remainder of the season. Classifies this partnership as a significant step toward brand awareness on the international stage. All right, Crypto.com, of course, has its sights set on becoming like a global portal. You know, the global, Coinbase kind of is definitely one of the bigger players out there, but Crypto.com quickly coming up in the rear view on turn 9. Gotta love it. Crypto.com, everybody. Let's get into another story here. All right, Coinbase gonna start offering 4% yield on USDC deposits. New savings product coming to Coinbase in order to compete with other crypto interest accounts. In this case, Coinbase launching a new savings product offering 4% APY on USDC. Is this what the central bankers were warning about, saying these stable coins are going to introduce instability in the system? I mean, how are they offering the 4% on my fiat deposit when my bank offers me sweet all, right? So anybody got a huge stack of USDC out there that they want to lock in some juicy 4% APY? Well, Coinbase has you covered.
Coinbase kind of had to offer this since Compound decided to offer 4% yesterday, if you recall.
Yeah.
It's very interesting for them to follow up. It's basically kind of the same offer. It looks like there's a savings yield competition amongst crypto banking products right now. It's interesting.
Yes, let the DeFi arms race begin. And indeed, this article does touch on exactly what Alex just said. Coinbase announcement follows similar news from DeFi blue chip Compound, offering similar 4% rates. The protocol's new treasury accounts were well received, with the native tokens soaring 23% in response to the news. If anybody was wondering why Compound was one of the top alt gainers yesterday, well, there is that. All right, not much more to mention on this, and I've only got a couple minutes left in the news segment, so let's get these last couple stories wrapped up. I thought this was kind of interesting. Just 5 companies are now worth $10 trillion. Just 5 U.S. companies are now worth the entire GDP of China, and Google alone is worth as much as all properties in the United Kingdom, including the Queen's Palaces. In a stratospheric rise of American tech, Apple leads with a market cap of $2.2 trillion, more than 3 times Bitcoin's market cap, which stands currently at $680 billion. Microsoft continues its dominance since the 90s with a market cap of $2 trillion as it sees its Windows operating system in every corner of the world. Indeed, Amazon's risen from book selling to a giant empire, coming in at $1.7 trillion as it becomes effectively the shop of the world. Google split into 2. Google at $1.6 trillion and Goog at $1.6 trillion, making a combined $3.3 trillion company, and by far the biggest company in the world due to the dominance of organizing information as well as its advertising empire, webbed into a master-slave relationship with publishers which rely on the giant from ranking to payment. Facebook just surpassed $1 trillion valuation, now worth just a little over $1 trillion at the time of writing. The company won a pretrial dismissal. Yeah, that's right. Actually, I heard about that yesterday. Maybe I should have slotted that into the news. Pretrial dismissal at an antitrust lawsuit by government agencies and states, with judges stating that on the face, these agencies had not brought enough allegations for an antitrust trial. The prize judgment speaks of the difficulties and complexities of such antitrust lawsuits, with these companies that are worth more than massive countries able to potentially overpower underfunded agencies. Yeah, Facebook, of course, had like, you know, kind of monopolistic antitrust allegations leveled against it. Apparently, all that got dismissed yesterday, and I think Facebook turned up in a pretty hard way. Note to self: let's slot in maybe a look at Facebook on the request line today. Curious to look at that chart.
Right.
This is the first
As well
time.
as Coinbase.
Yeah, Coinbase might be turning up too. This is the first time these
It is.
5 combined have surpassed 10 trillion, with them worth just 10.35 trillion. At the time of writing, just some months ago, headlines were blazing about one of them surpassing 1 trillion for the first time in history. Now they're all seemingly taking rounds and doing so, with Tesla previously just about surpassing it, but briefly. The meme, of course, to be updated due to money print, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, still interesting to put this in perspective, guys. What a crazy time we live in, you know, not just one, but multiple trillion-dollar companies out there together, $10 trillion. You got the, you know, the FANG stocks accounting for $10 trillion. Man. Prepare for your corporate oligarchs to come online. How long until they buy out entire city-states or entire nations with their wealth and equity? You know, Facebook City coming your way maybe one day. This is what I guess flashes to my mind when I think of such lofty evaluations. So much money and power accumulating within these tech companies. It's gonna be a crazy world. Be a crazy world. Let's see here. I'm kind of low on time. Oh yeah, this one already kind of mentioned. One of the largest crypto owners of Bitcoin. And alright, fine. I'll wrap on this one last story. This one comes from Crypto Slate. Bitcoin's biggest buyer is seemingly selling Bitcoin, and here's why. So this particular analyst, Lynn Alden, points that the demise of Grayscale's neutral arbitrage trade has played a part in Bitcoin's price decline. Alright, so to summarize very briefly, I read this a little earlier. So Lynn points out that a lot of people are worried about Tether and Tether FUD propping up markets. She was of the thought that it was GBTC that actually, as a popular institutional vehicle for trading Bitcoin and a regulated product, was actually the main source for the inflating Bitcoin price. The idea goes really simple. Institutional investors relatively only had access, generally used predominantly Grayscale to get exposure to Bitcoin. As other vehicles come online, as altcoins become increasingly more popular and institutions have more ability to invest in them, it's taking pressure off of Grayscale, which in turn takes pressure off of Grayscale purchasing more Bitcoin on the open market. And as a result, the theory is that Grayscale's declining arbitrage opportunity and so forth having the biggest impact on Bitcoin's price currently. Here is the tweet kind of summarizing it. Bears focusing on Tether's impact on Bitcoin over the past year would probably done better to focus on Grayscale's neutral arbitrage trade instead. When new competition resulted in the market taking away Bitcoin, GBTC's premium to NAV, the biggest Bitcoin buyer stopped buying. Alright, something interesting to think about here, guys. If you want to learn more about this, just check out this story titled Bitcoin's Biggest Buyer Seemingly Selling Bitcoin. Here's why on Crypto Slate. I'm pretty much out of time for the news. We do got to get into the next part. Let's do it. Alright, so this is where I would, I guess I can still do that. Let me get this up, actually. Alright. 1 second. All right. All right. And I think I finally got it. All right, thanks for everybody's patience. but just had to pull up this link that I didn't have ready. All right, so of course, unfortunately today I neglected to launch a new poll for today's episode. But with that said, I am going to check in on yesterday's poll at the very least. Let's take a look here. And here we go. Here's a look at yesterday's poll. Very curious to see what the thoughts of our audience were on this one. The poll was the following. This was, again, a day ago. With Bitcoin seemingly recovering from last week's panic lows, Ethereum now breaching 2,000. Where do you think the market's going to head next? Yes, so this was a bit of a litmus test on what our audience thought, where the market's going to go next. And go figure. Check out what leads yesterday's responses. With 62 votes, 50% of respondents thought big move to the upside to rekindle FOMO this week. Just wanted to highlight that. Man, our audience seemingly, well, with the market currently, although these things can always turn around on a dime, at the moment, seems like my dear audience, guys, were absolutely right on this one. At the moment, FOMO might be very well rekindling this week. Thank you very much to everybody who commented even and left their response in here. Let's see here. I see discussion here from Mr. H. Huge amount of BTC shorts opened. I think there will be a short squeeze. Someone mentions those shorts already got closed after the pump started. Short squeeze would be awesome, writes Mr. Ether. And Crypto Bull says he's going to go all in at 21K. All right. Well, we'll see if we get down there. At least I know who voted for a leg down. But at the moment, it's all up. Thanks again, guys. Sorry to have a poll for you today, but we will certainly return with that for tomorrow. All right. There is a look at the poll. Finally, get into the live chat comments. Let's see who's kicking it with us here this very nice sunny Tuesday afternoon. All right. Right on Rice, David Rice with us first in the chat today. Shoutouts to David Rice, always in here first. Seemingly one of the first users, almost all in here. Guardian, let's go, writes Guardian. Yep, you're here and we're live and we're going. Taz Blitz, good evening, guys and dolls. Good to see you, Taz Blitz. Crypto York, haven't seen Crypto York in a few days, but welcome back, Crypto York, to the live chat. Ron Legato, am I already detecting a slight Puerto Rican accent? Alex, you're certainly acclimating well to your new environment, to your new home. Midwest, yes, you're totally right. Chili and lime, or chili lime, I should just say. By the way, YouTube algo has been messing with all crypto YouTubers. They've been complaining about it recently. Yeah, no surprise there. No surprise there. We're certainly feeling it. I wasn't sure if that was just, general crypto YouTube sandbagging, or, guys, we did recover from our not copyright, but community guidelines strike. Yeah, we took a slap on the wrist, and generally after that, you never get returned back to full status. They permanently sandbag you, permanently, throw you in a well and shut the door, kind of thing. That's kind of where we are, but we're still chugging along, guys. And of course, thanks to our very, very loyal audience and everybody who tunes in from Twitch to DLive to YouTube and so forth. We really couldn't do it without you, so we thank you so much for your ongoing support. Torrent on YouTube writes hello. Shoutouts to you. ETH1 is with us today as well. Shoutouts to ETH1. Any word, is R going to zero? Pirate Chain going to zero? Didn't hear about this, but maybe I'll check in on the Pirate Chain chart. Stand by. I'll add that to the request line. Tsubasa Ozora, what are your thoughts on Whacked? Not too sure. Whacked. This is, of course, the meme coin that started trading after McAfee's death. It's something that we'll check in on. I'll add it to the request line. Hang tight. That's going to be a ChartX jobby. The Splashy85 joins us on DLive. Popescu is from my city. Oh, okay. Well, shout-outs to any Romanian homies here in the live chat. The Splashy, I don't really think he had 1 million Bitcoin, and I don't think he died either. He was a weirdo full of conspiracy theories. Okay, so maybe he wasn't the Bitcoin billionaire we thought he was, but yes.
He was a good
Maybe he was. Maybe he's a man that peddled in conspiracy theories, and finally, in the end, he himself becomes a conspiracy theory. No one really knows what happened off the coast of Costa Rica that day. Did he drown before giving up his private keys? Did he wear his ledger, his waterproof ledger, around his neck?
Yeah, rich people can't drown. Everybody knows they have protective suits.
They have Iron Man suits. Come save them.
I mean, you're onto something there. If I had $1 billion, I'd probably have an Iron Man suit anytime I go into public. Too many haters out there. They all trying to jack you for your crypto. Gotta come prepared. Let's see. Sounds like he's full of water now. Yeah, sure is. Jordan Stotts. Hey friends. Hey guys. Good to see you, Jordan Stotts. Jose Alves as well. How's everyone doing? Doing great. Thank you, Mr. Jose. Let's see here. Dark Rico. Hey gang. Shout out to Dark Rico. Very good afternoon to you. Light Ally. Schumacher. Why not Stroll? I don't know. It's like the first Formula 1 racer that came to mind. But thank you, Light Ally. Crypto Caveman. Sup, boys? Big shout out from Toronto. All right. Big shout outs to Mr. Caveman from my neck of the woods. Chico Blanco Verano. That's capitalism, baby. There is. Last man standing wins. Crypto AF 2017. What's up, guys? When you get the chance, please let me know your thoughts on the following. We will. I'll add that to the request line. Hang tight. Rhino TD. Evening, people. How goes it? Goes great. Thank you, Mr. Rhino TD. And finally, I see a request from Crypto Caveman. Profit Bear writes, "What's up? What's up to Profit Bear?" And Crypto Bull 21 says, "A floating suit. That's an awesome idea, actually." Are you talking about just
the Iron Man suit?
Life preserver? Yeah, Iron Man suit's pretty heavy. I imagine that's
a life jacket.
A life jacket? Yes, I'm thinking life jacket. Yeah, floating suit. How about a suit that provides oxygen when you're underwater? How about that, huh?
They're actually working on that with graphene, being able to synthesize the O2, the oxygen out of water like a gill.
Oh wow.
To being able to breathe underwater.
All right.
There's so many damn sweet things you can do with graphene. It's insane.
Well, no more lugging 50-pound oxygen tanks on my back and the regulator and all that. I'm just gonna have a small, lightweight graphene thing stuck to my face.
I will make an apparatus out of sea kelp.
Is that the one that the Batman breathing apparatus that he pulled from the belt every time he went underwater? That's pretty cool. I want one of those. In fact, I want graphene. I want the whole Batman toolkit, in graphene. Hand it over. I got my $1 billion in Bitcoin ready to
call up Morgan Freeman. Wasn't he the guy who built it all?
Yeah, we're going spelunking, boys. Let's do it. All right. Enough shenanigans. We got to get into it. It's what you're all here for. High quality TA comes your way next. All right. Alex. See if Alex is already live. Of course he is. Alex always on the ball. Let's get into the next scene. Perfect. Currently looking at Solana USDT on the 4-hour. All right, so I am synced up nicely. Alex, I gotta say, your internet is impeccable over there in Puerto Rico. Giving up nothing in by ways of internet quality by settling over there. I gotta give it to you.
Thank you. I made it myself.
Super sharp. Yeah, you laid the fiber optic on your way there yourself, eh? Very nicely done. Guys, you know how this next part goes? I'm going to go into the live chat, start extracting your requests. Luckily, it doesn't seem too many in there. Alex will take it away from here. Jason, you lend your support. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Thanks. Yes, thank you.
You just do whatever you do. Do gotta say, I'm digging that daily trend break.
Which one?
If you extend that line down there, it's that diagonal. You have it, but right before that sell-off.
Pardon?
So you see the top line right now that you have going down, but you didn't completely extend it?
Where? My screen is filled with lines, so you really got to be more specific.
Yeah, but that's why it's so damn hard. It comes and touches the point of control and stops. It's the little V you got. One up. Yep.
Here. Right, this one?
Not that one, but that one's a good trend break too, because there's two of them right now.
What is it, this one?
Yeah, extend that one out. There we go.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
Doesn't make any sense. You know, these line up here, but this doesn't line up with that. I don't necessarily see that. I'm not saying that we don't necessarily go up here. I don't think that this has anything to do with this over here.
We shall see. I'm liking the way she's looking.
On lower time frames, I wonder if we might not get a pullback here. Here we go. So I do see some resistance in this spot, which is, you know, kind of the point of control here. We've got trend resistance above us, this dynamic resistance of the pitchfork. We have the Fibonacci trend-based Fib resistance, which is 4.236 right here, based off of the bottom back in 2018, the top in 2019, the bottom in 2020. So, excuse me, that was not the 4.236. This is the 3.618. So here, kind of support for us, break below it. Now we're tapping this area as resistance still. So I do like it, and we're basically in long territory here, but there's some things on lower time frames to still be giving us pause here. What is our uptrend? It's good. I don't know, if you long the bottom, I wouldn't be dumping it yet necessarily, but I'd keep an eye on this. I keep an eye on this uptrend and just make sure it's not violated. If we close on the other side of it, then I'd look to get out, and you know, potentially we come back into the 30K range again and trade there some more, which wouldn't necessarily be bearish, just be, you know, more bag filling before whatever bullish activity happens. Spending more time here at the median, which, as we know, price likes to trade at the median of the trend. It's this white line. Here, price hugging the trend before we break into a more parabolic movement. We come back to the median of the trend right here. We touch it. So we could spend some time and spend some time in that area and have it be not too bearish, I think. Ethereum is showing some strength here, but we haven't broken the downtrend yet. This downtrend right here. We are also not over all of our resistance overhead. We did manage to pierce the resistance at 2100. This is good. If we could turn this resistance area into support and then break our downtrend, then I'm willing to get bullish on Ethereum. But I gotta say, the weekly chart. We can also open a 3-day here. 3-day ends in a few hours. I guess the 3-day as is not necessarily bad. We don't have a bullish divergence or anything, but this is almost an oversold signal. This is almost a long signal for us too. We're above zero. Watt is firing. Well, because we're above 2100, I would take this. If we were still below this area of resistance and support right here, I wouldn't take it. But we are piercing it. So even though we haven't completely broken this this downtrend here, I think I'd be willing to take Ethereum later today. Let me put this. Maybe we'll take Ethereum as one of our trades later today. I do want to get some long exposure here. We've only been short recently, and it definitely feels like the market is turning in some ways. I don't know that we're gonna hold it, but I mean, if you hold a gun to my head, I'd rather be long than short in this spot. Even if, like I pointed out, there's some reason to think that maybe there'll be some weakness here on Bitcoin, but ultimately, I wouldn't expect it to last if we did get it. All right, so let's come back around here. What's Bitcoin dominance doing? All right, so as we mentioned yesterday, we've got a break of the uptrend that did close, and we're getting a little bit of follow through today. Soon to break below our what?
What's that?
Hello? What'd you say?
Oh, nothing. My mic just must have kicked in.
Okay. All right. So yeah, broken uptrend. I expect more downside here of Bitcoin versus the alts. That means, at least for the next week or so, I think alts could be a better trade than Bitcoin. For longer time frames, I mean, even here on the 3-day, you can see what we're starting to cross under here. On longer time frames, like the weekly, I still think Bitcoin has some room to move up here against the alts before we get any kind of large-scale reversal of alts versus Bitcoin. Again, where alts just take a bunch of Bitcoin's value. Uniswap kind of in an interesting place here. So Uniswap perp is not Uniperp. Uniswap perp is a basket of altcoins that are on Uniswap. So this is like an index of sorts. This is an index of Uniswap coins. We do have this broken uptrend, which is not fantastic. Maybe it's just how I'm drawing it, right? Maybe that's the issue here. Let's go to line mode. It doesn't seem like I'm screwing it, so.
Doesn't seem like I'm screwing it.
Yeah, I didn't fuck this one, so it's we've broken this uptrend here. We're essentially at the listing price for the contract. I wish we had way more data, but we just don't. Like Uniswap indices did not exist before this date in 2020. I do see a break of the downtrend here. It's curious. Normally when you see an uptrend like this broken, you would see much more follow through here, but we're not getting that. Okay, so regular candles. This is a nice looking signal here. I like how much time we've how we've kind of bottomed out here on time transformation. Lots of resistance overhead here. This entire area is an area of resistance. But we have almost come down to the weekly trend, the one that we've been eyeing on a lot of alts. This trend right here. So this is very curious. Are we close on any other any of the other alt contracts? No. Not quite there on privacy. Definitely not there on exchange. Exchange does not look so good here on the weekly. With the exception of Dragon Perp, we have a long way to fall still on a lot of these index contracts, and I don't know if this is enough of a buyback in this week so far for me to be super confident. We've still got a long ways to go on this week before we close, even before we close in the green even.
Yeah.
Buyers don't seem to be super strong here. You see when buyers stepped in here, we didn't get a lot of buying pressure those 2 weeks. Sellers step in hard. Buyers step in here. How much volume are we really getting? Doesn't look like a whole lot of volume to me. This is kind of all resistance overhead right here. See? Support, 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 support. Support, resistance, break down, come up, retest his resistance, and easily get, if not another full leg down, then just kind of a retest of this area as resistance, come back up. But it's such a nice weekly candle here on Bitcoin, isn't it? Like, look at this absorption of last week's candle. Well, we don't get this for another 5 days, this crossover. Maybe if we close this, that would be a really great and interesting reversal signal. We don't have it yet. We're not going to for a little while. Okay, the Dixie, curiously, is up today. Ordinarily, when we have a big update on Bitcoin and crypto and stuff, you almost uniformly see it as a day where the dollar has done poorly. It just, it adds such a... The dollar doing poorly adds a lot of speculative fervor to the markets, it seems. But today, the dollar is up, and so are the rest of the markets. So this is actually kind of interesting that it's bucking the normal inverse correlation that we see between the dollar and the rest of the markets. Additionally, we look like we are getting a continuation signal here. See, we're above our daily baseline. We're already crossing up here on our oscillator above zero, I might add. We'll see how the day ends, but so far it is tentatively bullish. All right, the dollar is up, but the Dow Jones still trapped below resistance. That's not great. Yesterday and the day before, the rest of the markets looked kind of really bullish in some ways, right? But the Dow is stubbornly weak, making a lower high at this moment.
Seems like it's getting slapped.
Yep, hanging out at the point of control. Bad juju. The NASDAQ also up. Interesting. I think it's just it. It's taken off the NASDAQ. Time to tech stock it up, it looks like. Well, let's take this opportunity. We'll look at Facebook. I would just classify it as still bullish. It kind of never got very bearish here. I don't see a good signal to take or not take, or nothing really to do here. Tesla. Trading sideways to the point of control. On the weekly, we are still tentatively bullish because of the break of this sending wedge pattern, which is really, at least at one point, was dependent on how you drew it. But I do believe that no matter how you draw it now, we've broken it. So, not what I want. AMD, ooh, kind of strong today.
Yeah.
This is in long territory for me. Far enough away from resistance that you could probably get a take profit one out of it. Okay, so SPY, of course, will be somewhere in the middle. Gap up today, trading sideways. Very interesting. New all-time high on the S&P 500 too. All right, so the Russell 2000 then is probably going to be down. All right, so big tech stocks back in, small caps back out, guys. Markets have spoken, it seems. With NASDAQ breaking into new all-time highs, but the Dow Jones down and the Russell 2000 breaking down from resistance here. I would say more than likely the market has spoken. Gold continuing down. I won't say like we told you so. I said I wasn't sure what was happening here, but now that we've broken down, it certainly seems as if we're likely to continue moving in that direction. Silver, I did say get out, and so far silver still continues to look rough. I would advise you to continue to stay out of silver. Palladium starting to reject exactly from the level where we've been expecting it. Level of the weekly resistance right here, as seen here. For finishing move up toward resistance, people start getting just a little bullish, and then
damn. Every time.
Yeah. With the 5-finger set of the face. Slap.
Big.
Platinum at this time looking pretty bearish. We rejected from the daily baseline, hanging out near the lows again. I wouldn't do anything with it right now. If we do get some kind of continuation signal or we break back above the daily baseline, it'll be an interesting trade to take. But for right now, this support level is quickly turning into a no longer support level. So as we push into this area, we really need to see it hold before we buy on faith again. Because if not, then we're going to look for $920, $925 entry point instead for a long on platinum. Copper, as we already know, break of the uptrend here. We're looking for copper prices to spike one more time, I think, back towards the highs here. Kind of retest the weekly baseline from below, and then hammer comes down. We move back down towards a more reasonable $3.75 price here. So you see, we're already kind of hanging around these previous, these aren't all-time highs, are they? Yeah, these previous all-time highs. We made a briefly new one here. Now we're back below it. So as long as we're below it here, I think it makes sense for us to come up and retest this area, right? We just, price is going to want to confirm that, you know, think of it as like actual supply and demand. Like if you're a supplier, wouldn't you, and you saw prices were going down, wouldn't you say like, okay, let me try $4.50 one more time and see if the market will bear this price one more time before I really lower prices, right? There's real supply and demand happening. These are copper futures. These are commodities markets.
Get ready for cheap air conditioning.
Brent crude oil giving us this bearish divergence as we had mentioned. Weekly sell signal as we had mentioned. Now it's just a game of wait and see. So far, I would suggest that tentatively the more recent uptrend is broken right here. As of today, really. And draw this out like this. And boom, you got a stew going. That's an ascending wedge right there.
You got a stew going?
Yep, you got a stew going. So, this pattern will really only take us to a retest of the previous high, right around $70, something like this. So this doesn't necessarily need to be an incredibly bearish pattern, but it is a bearish pattern. The question is it just going to take us for a retest, or... Yeah. So we're looking for a retest of the previous highs here. Resistance, 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 resistance. We break, come up, support. Same area. All right, so there's some sense to this ascending wedge where price is kind of mirroring itself. It makes a 7% move down below resistance as a rejection, and then it moves back above it, and then moves 7 cents down, or 7% back down into the resistance, now support, during the retest before movement off of it. So imagine kind of like a seesaw or something like that. It doesn't have to work out that way, but there is a sense to it, and price can often move in those ways. It's kind of what I want to point out. Corn, definitely more downside in the future. I will say sellers are starting to peter off just a little bit. We could see buyers take one more leg towards this resistance up here, around $7.50 before we get a real move down again on CFDs. So I think what we're seeing on commodities is that the dollar is probably not done with the commodity market yet. Yeah, I don't know what's up with tech stocks, why they're kind of leading the charge against the rest of the market. So you can see lower cap stocks, just they're not there. The most of the businesses in the United States are not going to be benefiting necessarily from this run, and clearly commodities aren't. And if commodities aren't, then all the companies that rely on those commodities, they're going to have fewer profits, yada, yada, yada. So there'll be a knock-on effect if that follows through. I mean, not all commodities are going down. Natural gas looking very strong. As a matter of fact, we could have a blow-off top this week. We could have a blow-off top today. Jeez.
Yeah, if that continues to get sold into.
Yeah, if today closed like this, I would almost consider this a blow-off top already. Mm-hmm. Soybeans, we got a break of the downtrend here. I think we could see some upside, maybe even retest of $15. But when you look at how strong a weekly trend we had that's broken, look at this.
Yeah, it's...
And then the firm double rejection top here. Yeah, so we're oversold. We come back up. Maybe we test the point of control from below. I also like this this little volume nub right here around 1480. It's right around in this area. People get a little bullish. We come up here. We reject. Leg down to maybe $10 on soybeans. Sugar still at resistance. Oil we talked about. Wheat is, could go either way. I wouldn't do anything with it right now. If we can get a move to the upside, then it could be a good break to take. Because historically it has been. So you look here, we break the downtrend to the upside, it's good. We break the downtrend to the upside, it's good. So if we could break the downtrend to the upside here, I take that. That looks like a good trade. Just kind of look for some parallelism in the markets. The market kind of keep doing the thing that it's doing until some other force comes along and acts on it. Oof. Well, that's an interesting reversal here. Just yesterday, the Australian economy looked grim. And I was reading, the Delta variant is spreading very hard in Australia right now. They're instituting a 2-week lockdown as of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact dates. Yeah. So if you guys will remember, at the beginning of the summer, I had kind of been discussing the overarching long-term trade of the dollar versus the USD, where as they're on opposite sides of the globe, we see these monetary flows between them based on the seasons. Like, we're on, we have summer, they have winter. We're in lockdown, they're not in lockdown, they are in lockdown, we're not. COVID's spreading there, it's not spreading here because of, the various temperatures, people are inside their homes, yada yada. So you can see here, whoops, I just totally changed my screen. Let me undo this. Okay. So you look at it and you can see here trend changes in February. So that is right when spring starts for us. This is a time when spring begins for us, and when fall begins for Australia. Blah blah blah. We have the next 3 months here of sideways during the spring fall time, and summer starts here in the U.S. Winter starts in Australia, and what happens here in June? We start to fall off a cliff. And I guarantee you, we look at the monthly here, we're going to be turned under. Yeah. Looks like a pretty firm rejection on the monthly for me. I think this is a fantastic long-term short trade to take based on, I think, what is essentially, sound macroeconomic global principles. And it's there on the chart, right? It's just there. So these facts of the matter are kind of there to be seen on the charts for anybody who's not just anybody who's interested in looking for them, because anybody could want to find the information, but you use just a little bit of reason, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to be like, it's cold there, hot here, virus no like hot, maybe good for us. It's not, it's just kind of obvious. So yeah, these look like pretty strong rejections on the monthly. It's something I wanted to go over while we were discussing it. For those of you who've been watching us for a long time, it's not a trade that I've talked about a lot recently. I am long the dollar in another way. So if you short the Australian dollar versus the dollar, then you're longing the dollar versus, if that makes sense. So think of this as a long on the dollar if you inverse the charts. So we see, there's just a lot to recommend this trade to us, I think. All right, so I think that's all I really want to say on the macroeconomic view right now. Like I said, we look at Bitcoin here, and I'm happy with last week's candle. This is a really nice candle. This looks like absorption right here, but we're still just kind of not out of the woods yet on the global economy, and unfortunately, crypto is in many ways tethered still to the global economy, and maybe not just still, perhaps more so each day, as the different markets come to share more participants, right?
Mhm.
You know, when you share participants, so, you know, when someone panics on one market, they panic on all the markets. Like, oh, I'm just going to sell my crypto bags. They're like, I'm selling everything today. I'm done, right? So, you know, selling in one market cascades into all the other markets, you know, whichever one started first. It doesn't even really matter because they're also correlated. So I guess that's really all I have to say on the subject for right now. I hope some of you found any of that interesting or educational. Want to do some chart requests?
Let's do it. Very insightful as always, Alex. Thank you for, you know, overview, guys. We cannot just have tunnel vision on crypto, as Alex just explained. A lot of correlation, increasingly so, as this space institutionalizes as well. So, always very, very meaningful to, of course, do a broad overall thing, traditional markets, and then some. In the meantime, indeed, got some requests to work through. Not too many today, which is good. And of course, we're gonna open that D-Live chest for you guys in just a few minutes. Yeah, about 20 minutes for the chest opening. In the meantime, let's reveal today's first request. It's gonna be the following. All right. First one up is from Anyword over on D-Live. He asks, "Is R going to 0 Pirate Chain?"
Let's take a look. So R is one of those ones that this is one of the ones that's always hard for us to find.
It's on KuCoin. Yeah, it's on KuCoin now though, so you should be able to.
Oh, okay.
What's going on with Pirate Chain?
This is
It's freshly listed. I know.
Trader. Yes, all right.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, let's say it's got 2 days of data.
no, that was 2 weeks of that. That was a weekly look, but yes, it has.
Channels. But still, it still wasn't enough.
Yeah, it's still not a significant amount.
That's not great. So this kind of broke below this support level that we had been eyeing. I don't know if it's going to 0, but I just don't see any reason to get into it yet. Until we get a break of some kind of downtrend before we do anything with it. I don't like that we broke beneath the weekly whole 60 here either. That's what this line right here is. Overall, things are bearish. Yeah, I don't see any reason to do anything with it yet. It's probably not going to 0, but it could come all the way down and maybe test $1. I mean, $1 is a nice round number, right? What's the price right now? We're at $2.75. We started at a high of 11 on the 3-day. What's 80%? What's the 80% range? That's always a good place to be looking. Maybe $2. Maybe $1 is a little much, but maybe $2. That's an 80% pullback. For those of you who are new to trading, it's very common after a parabolic move, which, you know, a very strong upward movement, for price to then pull back 80% when it's exhausted. It gives back 80% of that giant move. But then, you know, that 20% disparity is like a new bottom, a new higher bottom for the asset. And then, you know, when it recovers, it goes on to make new all-time highs afterwards. It's kind of the market cycle phenomenon, if you would. Anyway, yeah, just don't do anything with it right now. I'm probably not going to go to 0, but it could give up a lot more min. What's next?
All right, Anyword, there is your look at Pirate Chain. Get into the next one. We have the following. All right, a look at Whacked, the John McAfee coin, Tsubasa Ozara. Let's look at Whacked. Quite the name, Mr. Ozara, but let's look at WACT is up to. I saw, I think, Chico Blanco Verano over in the YouTube live chat. He mentioned he 15x'd his money aping into WACT at the right time. Man, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, I can't see.
Let me know if you need the contract for that one.
Yeah, does it have an E in it?
No. Is it 439 EEE?
As far as I can tell... Come on, why is this loading? Your scan is down.
Oh, well, thank you. I think I have it, and I don't see anything really to do with it right now.
Has that 15x'd?
I'm sure it has from like this area.
Yeah.
What?
So yeah, it does look like it has, huh?
Hmm.
It was low.
Well, nonetheless, I don't see anything really for us to do here.
Certainly doesn't look like there's a lot to act on here, but yeah, congrats to anybody who made out like a bandit on this, you know, rare opportunity to board a meme coin in the midst of, well, I guess kind of a unprecedented, once in McAfee's lifetime type event. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's face it, nobody was willing to buy it because we were in a down market period. The same reason no one's willing to buy Bitcoin at $30,000 but to buy it at $36,000.
Yep, that is a good point. All right. There's a look at WACT for Mr. Ozara. Let's get into
Which is, of course, also one of the things that makes it a good trade if you did buy down here, because, you know, I guess you look at the wicks in this area, you get a movement off of it. You think, okay, there's a lot of sense to this trade now in this spot, whereas there's not here, because it could go either fucking way. You know, we could end up way back down here, like down 75%. We don't know. But in this spot, the downside's pretty limited if you happen to be there and spot it. Go ahead. What's next?
All right, let's get into the next request. It's the following for Crypto AF 2017 on Twitch. What are your thoughts on Link and QNT? All right, let's give Link a look.
I mean, the Link chart is the same as almost every other alt chart right here. I don't, there's nothing really special about it. We're not quite in long territory. We don't have enough volatility, but we are starting to break the downtrend. We are above the daily baseline. We're above the resistance of the previous all-time high from August of 2020. These are good signs. I'm still a little afraid of the resistance that we have overhead at $25. You can kind of see it here on VPVR, and also just like on the line that I have drawn. So resistance here, support, 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 resistance overhead, and support and control too. So I think $25 here would actually be a really wonderful target if you were buying this area. Target $25, take some profits, then kind of wait and see what happens. I can totally see us ending back up in this area, but after that, you know, I don't know. You guys know that I'm still a little bearish on, I think, the rest of the summer. Like, I'm not sold on the bounce yet. I don't think the bull market is over, but that doesn't mean it has to start again like right away this month, this week, you know? So, caution is still the name of the game here in the spot. So yeah, I don't dislike Link here. I think we could take to 25, but keep in mind this is all resistance overhead, heavy resistance. See, resistance, support, 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 resistance again. I think we should be expecting more resistance in this spot still. QNT was the other one, right?
Correct.
Okay. Looks a little topped out right now.
Yeah, it seems to be the only one negative on bubbles today, QNT.
Well, I am not ready to sell this. If I was a buyer, I would not be ready to sell it. You know, we still have an intact uptrend here, which however you want to draw it. We don't have a 3-day sell signal yet. We don't have a weekly sell signal yet. We don't really have a daily. We do have a daily bearish divergence here. As you can see, we've made a lower high on our oscillator. At the same time, we've made a higher high on price, which is kind of a sign that there's hidden weakness. There's not as much momentum as the movement in price would make it appear. You think, oh, more price means more momentum, but actually it's like a car cresting at the top of a hill, right? Yeah, maybe there's enough momentum to get it to the top of the hill, but then it runs out of momentum and it starts to roll back down the hill, right? So it's kind of what we're looking at when we're looking for these momentum divergences in our oscillators. I guess keep holding quant for right now, and just keep your eye on this uptrend. If we break it, then I'd get out of the trend for right now. But I don't see any reason to be skittish necessarily because quant has been strong here. So when in doubt, long strength and short weakness is probably the best way to play things. What's next?
All right. Let's get into the next one. We have the following coming in from Crypto Caveman on YouTube. He wants to look at TFUEL in particular. He wants to see the 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily charts. All three.
I really hate this every time frame view of things. TFUEL just it looks bearish on every time frame right now. We've got heavy resistance overhead on the 4 hour. Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. Like, things don't look so different in every time frame that I need to look at all these. It looks bearish. We're still short TFUEL. I don't really plan on dumping it if I can help it. We are kind of crossing over here. I don't know. I might have to dump it. We've already hit take profit 1 and 2, so I guess it's fine. But no, I expect more downside here on TFUEL. I'd be getting out. We've topped out here. Get out of TFUEL. What's next?
Get out. All right. You've been warned. Thank you to Crypto Caveman for the TFUEL request. Get into the next one, shall we? We have the following for Profit Bear. He writes, I requested ICP yesterday and now it's up 30%. Well, sorry we couldn't get to ICP yesterday, but give it a look now.
I'll say here, there's another view on TFUEL where maybe we've broken above the 3-day resistance that we're holding it. Maybe I'm wrong to be so bearish. One way or another, time transformation is going to get us out of our short here. It's doing what it's supposed to. It's very quickly as we get just a little bit bullish, pulls us out of our short. That's what we want it to do, and we'll see. But I still, this is too much resistance overhead right here. Like, look, we really tried. This got really bullish right here. We were up 3x off of the bottom here on TFUEL. We just could not make it above this area. Meow, exactly.
Meow.
And then I think we can still push up towards 50 cents maybe one more time. That actually might be an interesting play. If we can get near 50 cents, start shorting TFUEL. I want to see TFUEL all the way back down towards 25 cents. I really like this area right here. And maybe even just a little underneath. The volume down here is interesting, but I definitely want to see it at 25 cents. TFUEL 25 cents. You heard it here.
All right. Well, there was an extended look at TFUEL for Crypto Caveman, and let's dive into this question concerning ICP. Yes, sorry, we did not look at your ICP request yesterday. Maybe we could have got you into that trade. Maybe we couldn't have.
I mean, it's not like I was going to be like, yes, you have to go buy this thing. What are you doing? Get out of here. Go, go, go.
That's
so
for sure.
So it's
that's never the case.
Yeah. And we don't even have a daily baseline yet here. So, yeah, I probably wouldn't have recommended it, but there's not much you can really do at this point if you haven't gotten in. I would wait for some sort of pullback.
How does that look in comparison to coin?
Hey guys, remember how we had used the trend-based fib extension to find where our support level is going to be? How do you guys think about it? Did it work?
Maybe.
A little bit of a fake out below it, buy below the trend-based fib, immediately get pulled back above it. I think I'd like to see a pullback towards $40, $35. If we can get that, then you can go ahead and be a buyer on ICP. I think it's clear that this level is going to hold for right now. We also got this break of the downtrend, which I can draw this further, and this appears to be like a good break of the long-term downtrend here. So solid. You could probably even take ICP all the way towards 65 if you are in it. I'd love to see it maybe get a bounce off this area, but ultimately, I want to pull back. I want to see it pull back into that area. What's next?
Right. Thank you for looking ICP for Profit Bear. We got you.
Sure feels pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, we got you today, Profit Bear. Let's get into the next one. All right. This one's from the Splashy over on DLive. Question 1. What do you guys think of, I think this is Pancake Bunny. Is there a chance to recover soon or later? All right. Let's look at Pancake Bunny. See if I can.
Gotta be Chartix, right?
I think it is a Chartix. Let me just double check. And Pancake Bunny .finance, I believe. Let's have a look here. Pancake Bunny. Its ticker is Bunny. It's a Binance Smart Chain, so you're gonna need that Chartix.
Okay. Yo, guys, you gotta give us the tickers.
And it ends in A51. Binance Smart Chain base token ending in A51. Got it.
Ooh.
I mean, recover to what? It's really going to depend on where your entry was. Like if you entered at $40 here and then you're underwater 75% down here, yeah, sure, you can recover it. I mean, if you're trying to wait till $400,
good luck.
my advice to you is to just forget you have the money for the next few years. Like, maybe you can make it up here, but most likely it will never be worth $400 again, because I'm willing to bet the supply has inflated an awful lot too. Tell you what, why don't we actually look at that? BSC scan. One too many ends, but that's fine. Bunny, what is the
Contract address?
No. I'm trying to think of what a good way to see the circulating supply is, how it's changed over time. Will Bloxy have that? Or is it only Ethereum? I can't wait until all these data analytics products work on all the different blockchains.
Right.
Well, these are all ERC. These are probably just fake. Either fake copies, but either way, it won't have what we need here. This could work. Coin Trader, Bunny, and then supply. Pancake Bunny supply over time. Oh no, it's basically the supply is steady. It's 510,000, and then it changes by like 200 for whatever reason. It must be some sort of internal transactions that move it back and forth. Okay. So yeah, if you're trying to buy for $400, I would just yeah, I don't think it'll really recover, but it certainly looks as if it's gonna go up from here. I mean, everything sort of looks as if it's gonna go up from here, you know? So yeah, sure, it's gonna bounce. If you bought up around the $50, $60 range, then, you know, good luck to you. I think you can totally make your money back right here. Maybe we can even go a little higher. If you're looking for $400,
keep looking.
I'd say goodbye. Yeah. What's next?
All right, there was your look at Pancake Bunny. Somebody got decimated on that one, without a doubt. I'm never going to financially recover from this one. Is maybe an apt meme to cite here. But with that said, let's get into this next one. This one's also from Splashy. This is an extended question. What do you think of trading bots like 3 Commas or KuCoin's new bots that are now available?
I'll let Johnny take care of that stuff.
I mean, I hear good things about them. I don't really use them. 3 Commas is a great platform. I don't really use the bots. I just place my own trades.
Yeah, I've heard they work pretty good, and indeed, you know, a lot of what we do here is kind of about automating trading. But maybe the trick is in knowing when to turn on the bot, when to turn off the bot. Seems like some level of discretion always enters the formula. On
you know, it's not my bot. How does it work? You know, I have a really hard time running things where I didn't build them or I don't know exactly how it works. This stuff. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's my ego or whatever. But it's really hard to trust something like that with your money.
Certainly. All right.
I don't hear specifically bad about those bots. Maybe they work fine, but I mean, I'm just not a bot person. I mean, rather, I'm not a person who uses someone else's bots just willy-nilly.
All right. Yes, indeed. Let's get into the next request. Let's pull it up on the screen now. Do a time check as well. Oh, we're like 2 minutes to go for the chest opening. All right, I'm going to introduce the next token and start getting the chest ready for the next lemons to give away. Chico Blanco Verano requests the Willy Woo token, Woo. So let's start with Woo.
Okay. No. I'm not really sure what the right thing to do with this is. I suppose at the very least you could probably take this back up to 85 cents. You see significant support resistance here. Support. That being said, I think I'd still like to see us trade back near 25 cents a little bit more before we take off here. If I'm wrong, you'll want to be a buyer if we close back above $1. It's kind of not ideal considering that's like 30% higher from here, but those are kind of your options because I don't really like this spot in particular. What's next?
All right, I'm going to move to open that chest very briefly, guys. So get your D-Live windows ready. That prompt should appear. Let me see what time it is now. All right, let's say 30 seconds from now. So probably by the time you hear me saying this, that prompt is going to appear. So I'm going to go open it right now. Everybody, good luck. Here comes the reward distribution. Should be on your screen now, guys. All right, I'm clicking collect. Come on, collect. You may have to, guys, if you don't see the prompt, sometimes you got to refresh this course. All right, I think I am good on the collection front. Let's head over to OBS. Let's see if we can maybe display today's giveaway. Yes, should be able to. Here's the distribution in progress. Good luck again. All right, there we go. Lemons have been given away. Shout outs to today's big winners. Among them, Rhino TD, 120 lemons for you. Crypto Bull with 70 lemons. Taz Blitz with 51 lemons. Any Word with 41 lemons. And David Rice with 34 lemons. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that giveaway. Hopefully everybody who was looking to claim was able to get their claim in. Good luck. Congrats. All right. Brilliant. Yes, Rhino TD is on a real bender. All right. That's so. We'll get back into this in just a second. Let's introduce the next request. It's still for Chico, and he wants to look at Ohm sushi swap token. It's known as Olympus. Ohm, OHM.
Oh.
Really interesting volume coming in on it.
What is happening there?
There's not enough liquidity on it, it looks like. I see there's $400,000 in volume on $10,000 liquidity. I don't really know what to say about this. Is there... Maybe this is the wrong contract to be looking at. This is maybe Ohm Die is better. Okay, Ohm Die is better. That's okay.
Yeah, that's more reasonable. Coming right up on resistance now.
Yeah, we are right up on resistance right now. Trying to be a buyer back near $250. I at this point I wouldn't buy 375 here until we closed above it. Like maybe if we close above 375, then it would make sense. You can then take it to like 500 or so, which is, you know, another level here. But this is just not a great spot to be a buyer. I wouldn't do much with it. What's next?
All right, that was a look at Ohm. Finally, he's requesting MIST. M-I-S-T. What is M-I-S-T? Well, it's just MIST. This is a Binance Smart Chain token. It kind of looks like it. There's more than one MIST, though. Chico, I don't know if you want to hit us back up. In fact, when I look up MIST, I see Alchemist, MIST, multiple MISTs.
Well, I'm going to assume it's this MIST.
Let's do it.
Is this broken downtrend? It is. I like that. I really like this spot. I think this is a great place to be a buyer here. You can see we wick down in the support area once, twice, 3 times, and we can't push any further into it, and then boom, we burst up and we break the downtrend. Looks pretty good to me. I like it. Market cap is kind of small too. It could have some legs. I could see it do some things. I mean, you would have to keep in mind all the supply is not out yet. You also want to keep in mind, I don't know, maybe, you know, stop by the Discord, make sure the devs are actually working on it. But if it's a good project, it's not a bad place to be a buyer for it. Next.
All right. Glad we could look at those 3 for you, Chico. Let's get into the next one. Yeah, it has to do with XRP. Rhino TD writes, "Hey Jack, can we look at XRP entry, please?" All right. Looks like he's trying to ape into XRP. Any thoughts on entries?
Nope. I would be looking at maybe 50 cents, 40 cents right now. I see the same problem on XRP I see on all the other alts, because this, I mean, this chart looks the same as like every other fucking major alt we've looked at today. We've got to break the downtrend here. That's nice. We've got some heavy resistance overhead. That's not so nice. This larger downtrend, as you can see, we're not anywhere close to breaking, although we are for the parabolic one. We don't have a long signal yet here for us to take. Not enough volatility yet. Yeah, I just don't see it yet. Well, Ethereum's got a long signal today. XRP doesn't have a long signal today.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to be pretty picky with my 13 EMA today.
Yeah, there's a lot of signals out there today. Why take something that isn't even signaling yet? That's
Yep.
my feelings on it. I mean, maybe XRP can follow everything else here. Maybe so. But we just don't know that. So I mean, why? It's fucking XRP. Like, you know, it's we all know about the project, okay? Like, so. Yeah. What's next?
All right, let's get right into the next one. We are closing 10 minutes of the show. Let's knock out these remaining requests. This next one's for Crypto Bully. Let's look at XVG USD. Yeah, what's Verge up to? This is Verge, right? XVG is what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
It's been longer than that.
It's the same chart as everything else. Broken uptrend. Drop the trend. Good.
Don't give him the stick.
Give him the stick. Don't give him the stick. Do you know my dad?
Yeah, man, this is the same chart as everything else. Yeah, maybe we've got a break of the downtrend right here, but we don't have a long signal yet. We're just starting to get above the daily baseline. Yada, yada, yada. Resistance overhead. Don't take it. What's next?
All right, XVG, straight to the point. Let's get into this next one. It's Zill. Zill for Dave Rice in the YouTube chat.
It's been a while since I heard anyone ask for Zill.
I feel like someone asked for it earlier this week. Still not above, still has not broken the downtrend, is not above zero on our oscillator, is not firing volatility for WADA. It's not a bad place to be a buyer. As you can see, I have this place previously marked out as a buy area. But it's not time yet. We don't have a long signals yet, and there's still volume below us. We could break down here and just one more leg down, you know, really hurt everybody who bought in this weekend, which, I don't know, kind of seems like a lot of people bought in the last couple days. You know, just one more, you know, everybody puke up their positions. Maybe, but I just don't see it. Yeah. What's next?
All right. Let's get right into the next one. Thank you for the look at Zill for Dave. Here we go. We got STORJ. PDD63 asks, please look at STORJ USD, please.
Same chart as everything else. This one we don't have a break of the downtrend yet. More parabolic downtrend I could see here is broken, but this is also not a trade we can take. We're too far extended above the qualifying line here for an initial long. We're kind of at resistance here, so resistance, 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 support, support, support. Resistance right here. There's a lot of reasons we don't want to take this trade, and a lot of reasons that we can't. So I'm not gonna touch it. What's next?
All right. Sorry, I might have missed that. Did you complete your look at STORJ?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Here we go. Swaggity Yolonays. Swaggity Yolonays on Twitch writes, please, can we look at MINA for entry points?
Okay, Mina-san. Do we have any more data? We got. Anywhere, come on. I got no entry points, buddy. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's just not enough data to go off of. This is not a bad area to be a buyer, just because, I mean, the rest of the market is fucking bouncing. But there's just really nothing special here to recommend this to us right now. Guess we could try a trend-based fib extension and look for You know what? No, we had more data than this on ICP when we tried it then, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we can do much with this, man. Sorry, it's just too new. Why don't let's wait for the market to tell us where we want to be buying, because it hasn't given us much of a hint right now. What's next?
All right, let's get right into the next request. Here we go. It's going to be comp. Comp for Boris of Bitcoin. He writes, comp, it seems like the downtrend's broken, but it might be a little more extended. What do you think? All right.
Well, comp's just got or they're announcing staking or not staking.
APY on that USDC.
Coinbase. That's right.
Yeah, I just don't think it makes a lot of sense here. If you look at this as support, resistance.
And you're just.
Yeah, I mean, you already know that we're above the qualifying line. You already know we're extended. So yeah, I wouldn't take it. What's next?
All right, there's your brief look at compound. Shoutouts to Boris Bitcoin. Here we go. We have the BOW token for Boris Bitcoin as well. If there's time, he asked, could we look at BOW too? Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, BOW.
BOW's kind of shaping up. I was looking at it yesterday. It's beautiful. It's kind of glorious. I think this is a great time to be a buyer on BOW.
That looks exactly like UBX right now. To a T.
I say go for it, man. It's nice.
All right. Yeah, I like the look at that setup. Best of luck with your BOW adventures, Boris Bitcoin. Let's get into this last couple of requests now. Only a couple minutes left in the show. Probably plenty of time to knock these last two out. Alex1233 on DLive writes, can we look at SHIB?
Fine.
Might be better off on a trading view.
Well. Nothing for us to really do here, I don't think. We do have a break of the downtrend, that's nice. And I'm just kind of not impressed with it. You could argue this is an inverse head and shoulders. You could probably trade it as such. And if so, maybe you could take it back up to 15 whatever magnitude of ascent it is. You know, I won't even hazard to guess what fraction of ascent it is, but 15 whatevers. Maybe I could see that. You take it back up to here.
15
yeah, 15 whatevers. But I wouldn't. I'm not looking to take this all the way back towards the highs yet necessarily. Like, I gotta tell you, there's so much retail in SHIB. There's so much retail. I cannot, in all the Facebook groups that I'm in, because I like to keep my ear to the ground, everyone's like, ooh, what's happening with SHIB? What's happening with SHIB? What about SafeMoon? What about SHIB? Is SHIB going up? I think the SHIB project could be so good. Oh, the SHIB people are doing, like, let me tell you, I don't know how retail got so fucking saturated into SHIB. But I would not be surprised to see SHIB languish for quite a while longer before any of those people got to make any cash.
Yeah. Really force them out. Make them give up.
Anyway, maybe you could keep going here. I mean, the rest of the market looks like it could turn around. It just doesn't look super special to me. What's next?
All right, the final request or two of the show. We have KNC for Rot Died. Yeah, let's do KNC really quick.
Looks like every other chart, buddy. As a matter of fact, it looks just like slightly worse. We don't have a break of the downtrend. We're not above the daily baseline. WADA's not firing for volatility. Just don't take it. There's better trades out there. What's next?
All right, finally, we have the final request of the day, guys. This is where we got to wrap things up, and so we're going to make room for just this last one. Daniel on YouTube asks, can you look at VET USDT? Sure.
It looks like every other chart right now, but it's worse than some of the other ones we've looked at. We haven't broken the downtrend here. Well, I mean, I guess we are starting to break the downtrend. Okay, but we're not above zero on our oscillator. WADA isn't firing here. I think you could maybe take this one up to 13 cents, but I think we're still going to land back here on 7 cents again. It's not over yet. But this 7 cents could be a good floor here. I would be surprised at this point if we ended up back near 5 cents. I think we could see more sideways here until we pick up the weekly trend as shown. Since we want to get back down into this weekly trend area. We're almost there, but we could get there by going sideways, or we could get there by falling more this month. Who knows? But I don't want it. What's next?
That's the last one, man. This is it. We went 2 hours, guys. I can't thank our audience enough. We kicked it for another solid 2-hour installment in the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. And yeah, things are turning up. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their requests getting fulfilled. Although a lot of the charts sure look similar. Interesting point in the market, guys, but this is where we gotta move to wrap. I did see a few more requests come in, guys, but this is where we gotta move. Let's see here. David Rice says potheads own SHIB. You might be right with some overlap in those two demographics. Let's have a look here. Chico Blanco Rano recommends you guys stick to blue chips, good quality projects with galaxy-sized brains, devs behind them. Let's have a look here. Crypto Bull 21 points out that a lot more potheads, quote-unquote, owned Bitcoin before any big names did too. Yes, maybe there is a correlation between recreational drug use and picking the right shitcoins to take off. Chico writes, it's crazy, bro. I had to go to the hospital, and while I was there, every nurse was asking me about my trading since I had my laptop out. And the first thing they would mention to me is Doge, SHIB, or SafeMoon. It's like, it was like 5 nurses that asked him about it. Wow. Yeah, so the normies are indeed acquainted with crypto, the crypto space. Apparently, they know mostly about Doge, SHIB, and SafeMoon, though. What a world we live in.
It's weird. It's as if like the normies know that they're no good at picking out quality projects, so they're like, so I'm gonna choose the worst projects.
It's like almost like reverse psychology.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, so I can't pick out quality projects, so I'm gonna pick out the like most degen, like memey, worthless project I can find, and then that's something that I guess they think they're also good at. It's like, if there's anything I know, it's memes, right?
Yeah, funny enough, you know, I guess they spend enough time on TikTok or Facebook or whatever these people use, and they get inundated with SHIB and Doge talk. Alas, it's not yet a completely mature market, guys. Every time I think we crest over the maturation of the general space, of the general market participant, no, alas, we enter another bull cycle, and it starts all over again. All the noobs pile in, and all these rugs are prepared for you to get pulled on. So let's have a look. Any other interesting comments here? The loudest will be heard. Yep, that's kind of how it works. It worked out for a few weeks there for them. Too bad anyone holding the bags now, though. Yeah, it did work pretty good for a while. The Doge thing was probably the source of many people's, excitement during the earlier part of this year. But we see how that's turned out. I guess they're still waiting. Will they be able to sell another top? Will they seize the opportunity, I guess, to sell another top? That is the big question. I certainly think if I was them, hopefully they won't balk at that opportunity again. But with that said, guys, we have to get a move on. 306, another 2-hour installment in the bag. Can't thank you guys enough. Much love to our audience. You know how we roll. We'll be back tomorrow for the Wednesday installment, the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. In the meantime, you know what to do. Check out premium.krakencryptocurrency.com for all the premium offerings we have here in store for you on the website. Check that out. Of course, we also got Discord, discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. Join the leading Discord crypto community for traders everywhere. Discord.krakencrypto is where to find us. With that said, I got to move to wrap here. Final words to our analysts.
Trade safely.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting day for signals. So stay tuned for that in the premium group because I'm gonna probably have to weed through quite a bit today. So
looking forward to it.
Yep.
Peace out, guys. Catch you tomorrow.
Goodbye.